always thought first contact with aliens would happen through telescopes, press conferences, and carefully constructed diplomacy. I certainly didn't imagine it would happen in the ruins of my ship, surrounded by the eerie pulse of alien bioluminescent vines, with my right hand severed at the wrist and cradled in the grasp of a towering extraterrestrial monarch. My name is Commander Elias Rowan, Exploration Corps, and this is the story of how I became bound to a queen not of my world, out of necessity, out of fate, and perhaps by the end, choice. Beginning, the fall into the unknown. We were mapping star cluster K9 in the Perseus expanse when a gravitational anomaly ripped us from warp. One moment, stars streaked like silver threads. The next, alarms blared, metal shrieked, and our ship, the ether rising, was falling into a violet nebula thick as ocean fog. When I woke, half buried in the wreckage, my crew was gone. Bodies, debris gone. No blood, no trace. Just me, my emergency suit, and pain radiating from my arm. Where my hand should have been, there was instead a shimmering, cauterized scar as if shaped by light itself. I didn't know whether to be grateful or terrified. The landscape was alien beauty painted in hues of midnight blue and emerald green. Towering trees with liquid-like bark rippled when touched by wind. Insects with gem-like wings hummed harmonies that felt like whispers in my skull. And above, two moons danced around each other like eternal lovers. I stumbled, dizzy from blood loss and shock, and collapsed against moss that pulsed as though breathing. A presence stirred behind me, felt first as a warmth along my spine, then a voice echoing not in ears but in mind. You bleed for your world. I rule for mine. Balance is owed. I turned, and there she stood. Tall, elegant, terrifyingly still. Her form was humanoid only in outline. Skin like shifting pearl, hair cascading in tendrils of silver light, eyes dark as starless space. A crown of woven living crystal rested on her brow, beating faintly like a heart. And in one hand, my severed hand preserved in shimmering stasis. What are you? I whispered, trembling. Her gaze pierced me, ancient and unreadable. Queen Lyran of the Eliscari Dominion. Sovereign of the Nebula Crown. Queen. And I was kneeling before her, broken and bleeding. Middle, a bond forged in crisis. She did not kill me. Instead, she touched the wound where my hand had been. Liquid fire rushed through me, but pain gave way to strange peace. I spared your life, she said. A price is required. What price? Croaked. Her tendrils shifted. Curiosity, sorrow, something old and solemn. Adjoining. Flesh for flesh. Will for will. I didn't understand then. I only knew I needed help to survive. So, in my desperation, I gave a nod. Light engulfed my arm. Where bone and blood had been, now a sleek organic construct formed, shimmering silver, pulsing with faint bioluminescence. My new hand, alien, elegant, responsive to thought. I should have been horrified, but I flexed the fingers and felt whole. Days turned to weeks as she guided me through her world. Her city, a grand bioorganic palace carved from living crystal, rose like frozen lightning above jungles bursting with life. Her people, the Eliscari, regarded me with wary fascination. Their technology grew, healed, and breathed. Their starships lived as creatures, not machines. I learned our collision with the anomaly hadn't been accident. It was a ripple caused by Eliscari war with a faction called the Nullborn, entities who devoured matter and memory alike. The ether rising had simply been unlucky. Lyran watched me constantly, regal yet lonely. I felt her presence in my mind, sometimes like moonlight seeping through curtains, gentle yet impossible to ignore. Our bond deepened not because she forced it, but because grief recognizes grief. She had lost soldiers, worlds. I had lost my crew, my purpose. Sometimes I would wake to find her seated near me, studying me like a riddle she could not solve. Humans fear the unknown, she mused once. We fear being powerless, I corrected. She nodded as though tasting the meaning. So do queens. Knife-sharp truth in alien voice. The distance between us thinned. Yet whispers followed me in palace halls. He is a tether. A weapon. A weakness. I wondered which was true, or if all were. Middle peak. The war that chose us. When the nullborn breached the nebula, the sky turned black, stars shuddered and dimmed. Beasts made of void and hunger poured from rifts like nightmares given form. Eliscari warriors sang psychic war hymns, but each battle cost them dearly. I saw Lyran bleed light like liquid diamonds. Saw fear flash through her gaze for the first time. They come for you, she said to me. The bond we forged, your presence disrupts them. You are the anomaly they cannot consume. So I'm the weapon. You are the balance. If they take you, they breach our realm and yours. Running wasn't an option. Neither was surrender. Together we took the front line. Her hand met mine, my alien graft glowing bright enough to cast shadows like fire. The energy that surged through us became a shield, a beacon. I felt her mind entwine with mine. Not domination but partnership. Trust offered, not seized. The nullborn recoiled as though burned. We pressed forward. I do not remember every strike, every scream, every pulse of void and starfire. Only that in the end silence fell. We stood among fading embers and dissolving shadows, breathing hard, alive. We had won. Ending, the price and the promise. When it was over, Lyran looked at me, not as a ruler to a stranger, but as something deeper, something chosen. You may return to your world, she said quietly. Our bond will hold across stars. I stared at the nebula sky. Home felt like a half-remembered dream. Humanity needed to know. But she, this queen, this strange luminous being, had become tied to me in ways beyond flesh. Why did you help me? I asked. Her fingers brushed my alien hand, and I sensed revelation trembling at her edges. Because your arrival demanded balance. And because... She hesitated, eternal ruler searching for mortal words. If I must pay the price for survival, I choose to pay it with you. Not a command. Wow. I took her hand in return. No price is worth paying alone. Her eyes softened, starlight thawing winter. Whether I will return to Earth or remain in the nebula throne, I do not yet know. But one truth stands carved into my soul as surely as the alien graft on my arm. She took my hand to save me. I offered my heart to save us both. And fate, in its strange wisdom, bound a human and a queen across the stars.